Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and joining me is going to be my good friend Scratch. And in this video, we are going to talk about a deep dive discussion. I know I mentioned it a little bit in like my yesterday's wrap-up video, but I wanted to get a video out there, getting some perspective on if players should be going after the 150 shards for RAGASH, or if it's a bad idea. We'll kind of quickly go over the champion, talk about the good, the bad, and if you should pull shards or not. So let's get into it. Alrighty, what's up, Scratch? How you doing today?
Yeah, doing pretty good, buddy. Doing pretty good. Actually, kind of like debating if I should go for this champion or no. So I feel like this video should give me the answer that I need, you know?
That's right. That's the goal. So just in general, what are your thoughts about this new defensive scaling, kind of self-buffing, hybrid support damager champion here in RAGASH for the Skinwalkers?
So the first thing that I'm gonna say, new Skinwalker, get it, you know what I mean? We finally got a new Skinwalker, and yeah, it seems like they made it guaranteed for all of us. I think the champion itself is a very solid one. I feel like it's definitely gonna help a lot of people with faction wars. It's gonna be a pretty good champion overall as a damage dealer, as a CC champion, you know. For clan boss, on the other hand, he won't be that great for the increased speed buff because he's on a 4-turn cooldown. We have quite a few options on a 3-turn cooldown, allowing us to making it work much better. Having the aura for all battles again is a thing that I like about the champion. Pretty interesting passive. So if you kind of need a champion to help you in faction wars, you need a champion to nuke in arena a bit. If you have a Sifi or you have a different champion that drops that increased defense, and he is a good champion to get, you know. So he is a champion that is worthy of those 150 ancient shards, I would say.
Okay, I agree. He's a good champion. He's also Spirit Affinity, which is usually one of the more lacking affinities out of all four of them, in terms of power balance in the game. I think, so we've seen a few different guaranteed summoning event champions around Ancient Shards. Now, we've seen one, like with Vizier, I think it was 111, right?
120. I was gonna say as well. I feel like he is one of those champions that should be at 120. So he's not a Candraphone, he's not a Wheatear. You know, those champions are like very powerful, they're very unique in their own way. Those, they deserve to be at 150 shards. I feel like RAGASH, even though he is a very nice champion, I feel like he belongs in the 120 shards group, you know.
Yeah, that was going to be the point that I segue to, is we saw a Lady Kimmy event for 150 Ancient Shards. I would not put this guy on the Lady Kimmy level.
No.
So if that's our barometer, if Lady Kimmy is at 150, I would say this guy should have been around that 100 to 120 range.
Yeah, I agree. At 120 shards, I feel like would be the right spot for him. Now, the whole idea is a lot of people are desperate to get more Skinwalkers, man. So many people are struggling with this faction. And yeah, he will give you a bit of support, 100%. He will be great to CC the waves and stuff. But it's not 100% the champion that you're gonna need to succeed in beating the faction wars, you know? I feel like the way they've done it this time around, I felt like it was like, what, 4 weeks ago when we had the guaranteed Candraphone from Ancient Shards, you know? So I don't like the idea that they brought Ancient Shards with Ancient Shards so close together. It was much better if this was from Sacreds, or, I don't know, something to don't force the people's hand as much, you know? Because a lot of people don't have Ancients left now after all the events that we had before, you know?
So, yeah, for sure. Okay, go ahead. You wanted to add more?
Yeah, that's kind of like, I feel a bit bad on that side for the way they've done the event with the champion, knowing that a lot of people, they're in need of Skinwalkers, you know, because we're barely getting any. Like, we don't have any fusions for the Skinwalkers. They're barely bringing in any epics or legendary champions that are accessible to the player base, you know.
Yeah, Skinwalkers it has always kind of been like the meme in the community, how they just never get any love. They've been doing a little bit better though. Like they added Leorius and Tamigia, which are both solid Void Legendaries, but those are Void Legendaries. Those are hardest champions to get in the game. They added Cleopteryx. They've buffed Hex, so Cleo could be a little bit better now.
Yeah.
Other than that, they're kind of underwhelming in terms of they're like decent but not amazing. And they added you know, Fane and Hofferes. You know, they're okay, but yeah, definitely one of the more lacking factions for sure. I would say RAGASH is a good stepping stone into strengthening them a little bit. Are you going to be doing the event for? Are you going to be pulling the ancients to go for him?
Unfortunately, I won't, and the reason for it probably is because I gotta buy shards, and I'm just debating it in my mind, you know. So if I would have to purchase all the shards, would cost me a fortune, you know. So purchasing the shards to get RAGASH will be like $200+. I don't think I'm willing to spend as much for him. I don't value him as high, you know. So even though he is a great champion, he won't do anything on my account. If I need to progress in the game, because I would have a different account, and I feel like he could potentially help me for Doom Tower or for some dungeons, which he can be good. Okay, he can be good in those parts, but he won't speed up your runs. So he's not that champion that you want to get to make faster runs. This is more of a progression champion, and it's more aimed at people that are early mid game, you know.
I agree.
Or collectors as well.
I agree. So I think in terms of your end game players, people that, what do you consider end game, by the way?
End game, wrecking Hydra, clan boss, everything. Like, you have no challenge left.
Yeah, see,
you know,
I consider end game when you have finished Faction Wars and hard Doom Tower. I think then you're end game.
Yeah, you can say that. You're gonna wreck Hydra as well at that point. I mean, you're gonna do Brutal Nightmare, even if it's 2 keys. You're gonna do it. If you beat Doom Tower hard mode, completed Faction Wars, yeah, that's end game. You're set for Hydra.
So for somebody that isn't in that bracket, for somebody that is end game, they finished Faction Wars, they finished hard Doom Tower, I don't know that it's worth 150 ancient shards to go for this guy. But like you said, but like, I also get confused if there's a market for this event, because like you said, he's a little bit more of a progression champion. So I think I tend to lean towards people that are in the progression phase, like people that are kind of newer to raid. Maybe they're still trying to finish Faction Wars. I think you're better off pulling during 2x events, because you still need a lot of those epics. You still need the Doom Priest and the Verask and all of these filler champions for your different rosters. I think for the long-term health of your account, you're better off pulling all of these ancient shards during 2x events as opposed to chasing one legendary that's decent.
Yeah, the whole idea behind it is because there's so many champions in the game, and the risk for you to get a dupe that's a crappy champion, or getting a new crappy champion, or getting a older fusion champion is so high that people prefer to open on guaranteed events when they're new champions that are decent, just so they know that they actually got some value back for their shards, you know, because there are a lot of collectors out there as well that they will open just to collect all the Pokemons. I'm not one of those people, but for a lot of other people, they don't want to get a disappointment of pulling another hacker or pulling some champion that they won't use at all. So like this, they know that, okay, maybe I'm gonna get to use this champion. I'll be better off than pulling a Pixniel, you know, just as an idea. So I feel like a lot of people are into that mindset.
Yep. So I think we're on the same page. I think he's a good champion. I just think the requirement of the 150 is a little bit too high. I think I would have liked it at 100, and at 120 I would have been borderline. At 150, my general recommendation to people would be, if you're end game, probably skip it. If you are early / mid game, probably hold off for 2x ancient shards instead. And do you agree with all that?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of like depends on their mentality, how I mentioned. If they feel like they need just this specific faction, and they think that this is the right champion, that is the missing key for their success, then go for it. But how you mentioned as well, endgame, probably I would recommend you, if you're not a Pokemon collector, is not gonna do anything for your account, you know. He just looks cool.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, that's always the thing. I mean, they always do a great job with the aesthetics. Yeah,
I know, yeah, that's how they get you, you know?
Yeah, he looks super cool. Awesome champion for the Skinwalkers. But that's rarely, you know, in doubt with Plarium. That's the one thing Raid Shadow Legends gets right, is the aesthetics and the environment and the graphics and how cool and unique all the champions are, for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Cool. Well, that was the main gist of what I wanted to bring you on to talk about, and I think I agree with you. I think I'm probably gonna pass. I'm gonna let it go. You know, it isn't something on the level of like a Lady Kimmy or a Candrafon or something where I probably would pull then, obviously. So I believe we're in agreement, and that's, you know, go ahead. Sorry to interrupt you.
Or no, it's fine. I was gonna say 100%. Like if it's a Kimi, or if you would have another Candrafon for 150, probably I would be like, okay, I might spend and get him. You know, I might get him and empower my main, just because that is changing the account. You know, that's actually worth it to go for it, because you know that your account will improve by getting them in the end game as well. You know,
we don't need version 2.0 of Scratch spending $400 to get Wither. So
no, definitely no.
All right, well, that'll do it for us on this one. Let us know down below if you agree or disagree, or if you're going to be pulling for Ragash, or what you would have, in terms of the shard number that was required. If there was a number that would have made you, or if a 150 is fair or too expensive and all that. We enjoy hearing your opinions as well. And Scratch, I will link to your channel down below. Definitely check him out. One of the most amazing resources for Raid, and I will put that down below. Anything you want to say on the way out?
No, guys, just open shards safe, you know, like drive safe. Be careful. Don't go too crazy.
That's right. That's right. Don't YOLO too hard. All right, cool. Thanks, Scratch. Take it easy.